On today's show, if you're a musician who's never used TikTok, should you give it a go? That's what we're asking.
And this is what we're going to find out. This is 30-minute music marketing.
30-minute music marketing for musicians who want to get better at marketing their music.
Okay, hi, I'm Greg.
Hello, and I'm Sheldon, and this is 30-Minute Music Marketing, the show for independent artists and DIY musicians who want to get better at marketing their music. We all want to get better at marketing their music. That's what this show is about. If this is the first time you've stumbled across us, we're giving you loads of practical tips from first-hand experience. None of this, I've just read it on an internet site and I'm parroting it back to you. This is all stuff that we, as either musicians or people who are involved with musicians, have
professionals.
Done. First-hand advice from
based on first-hand experiences.
Based on first-hand experiences, and that's what this particular show is all about. For people who listened to our last episode, they would have noticed that one of the things that I said I was going to do is dabble in the world of vertical video and get on that there TikTok, even though I'm a bloke in his 50s and I didn't necessarily want to. And I thought that this whole experience is going to be particularly degrading for me, but I did it. I had a go, and a video that we posted on there went viral. It's currently got 1.5 million views, Greg.
Not bad. Not bad
That's
at all.
all right, isn't it? So from something that I never really used, I think I got a TikTok account at the end of 2020, never really used it, posted about 4 or 5 things on it. It never really caught fire. But after giving it a bit of care and a bit of attention, we've suddenly...
Did you give it a bit of a massage as well?
I wouldn't necessarily say we blew up on the platform. However, we can maybe talk through some numbers later. Achieving 1.5 million views on a video and hundreds of thousands of views and tens of thousands of views on subsequent videos is quite significant. So there's probably going to be a lot of musicians, maybe like myself, who are thinking, TikTok, it's all about just videos of girls doing synchronized dance moves, isn't it? Well, is it? Let's maybe discuss some of the factors around TikTok, how it works, how I necessarily used it, and how maybe I happened to go viral. And maybe by the end of the video, people who haven't used it, maybe they can make an informed decision as to maybe it's something that they should potentially do.
So, TikTok, Sheldon,
Yes.
I know about it. I've never used it before. I know we have. No, I haven't. And I know we have chatted in the past. Because obviously it's been around for a while. So can you explain what TikTok is to someone who's never downloaded it, and for people who don't really understand what it is, especially in reference to me, it just looks like a YouTube stories. But
well, it's got its own language to a certain degree. So the very basics, he said.
Tell me more.
In his notes. It's a short form vertical video platform.
When you say vertical video, do you mean literally doing it that way?
Yes, yes.
So all those years that we've wanted people to film in landscape, we're now chucking that out of the window.
Yeah, I'm now thinking about the next music video where I basically have to do I have to film it twice? Do I have to film it that way? Do I have to film it the other way? I don't know. These are the decisions I'm already thinking about. So if it's videos, what videos are on there? Technically, it's everything. There's music, there's lots and lots of funny stuff. There's educational stuff on there. As soon as you start watching one video with a music producer who might be showing you a little bit of a reverb tip, then the algorithm kicks in and you'll get lots of those. Daft videos, lots of cookery videos.
Really?
There could be makeup, everything. Basically, the platform is that big and it's got such a large pool of creators, if you want to use that way. Whatever, you could it's pretty much like every other platform. Whatever interest you have, you will probably find somebody creating that content on TikTok. There's lots of memes and there's lots of in-jokes. People put their own visuals and lip sync to existing audio. They sort of recontextualize existing videos and existing soundtrack to videos, and generally piggyback on top of a existing trend. I started watching a video about cheese, and now I get lots of cheese. Cheese itself has got 17 billion video views with the hashtag cheese. So, like, whatever you're into, Greg, it's on there.
17 billion what views or
video views? People, there are 17 billion videos that have been viewed 17 billion times, if you see what I mean, concerning cheese. In summary, yeah, TikTok, it's quirky. It's mostly fast-paced in order to try and keep people's interest. Some facts and figures, Greg, because I know you're a facts and figures person. It's got 1.2 billion monthly active users at the end of 2021, and that's expected to reach 1.5 billion by the end of 2022.
How does that compare to Facebook? What's Facebook? You need to know all this stuff.
I do. I used to have these facts and figures at my reach. I think it's currently, let's ignore Facebook, it's currently on a par with Instagram, but it is expected, I think, to exceed Instagram. Almost half of TikTok's active users are between 16 and 24 years old. So it's very much a younger demographic. But you can also argue that there's that many people on there. Pretty much all demographics are represented. So you can argue that whatever demographic your audience is, they're just, they are on there waiting to be found, you could argue. Now, again, whether that means that you could find the one thing I found is that whilst I would have thought my audience demographic is slightly older, because my primary, as a musician, my primary fans are on Facebook. I don't know whether that's just because, and they're a little older. I don't know whether that's just because that's the platform I've been using the most. And maybe I could actually age down my demographic by concentrating on TikTok. That's something I'm going to have to see pans out long term, as it were.
So it's a notice board. I mean, how long are the videos?
The video, originally it started off as a maximum of 60 seconds. Then it went up to 3 minutes. Now it's gone up to 10 minutes. So they're trying to become more of a long form video content, but you can have a video that just lasts 7 seconds. In some respects, it's as long as your video needs to be. If you're making a joke, it could just be a couple of seconds. If you're there's lots of storytelling on there, people telling their viewers about their experiences, those could be a couple of minutes in length, but it's setting itself up rather than just this short form video to be a longer video viewed platform. Right. Okay. Whether that's the right thing to do or not, but it's giving creators the opportunity.
So in terms of, just because obviously I have no idea how it works, as some of our listeners and viewers might also be, where do people go off? Views? What's the currency here in terms of, and also, is it plagued with adverts, and does it offer a paid tier?
There's a no paid tier. I wouldn't say it's plagued with adverts. There's probably less adverts than other social platforms. And the great thing is that unlike YouTube, where you have to stick with it potentially for a 15 seconds of a pre-roll, an advert comes on, you can just swipe. Yeah, as a viewer, you can just swipe up and get rid of it. So you
literally have control over whether you want to see the advert
for the time being.
For the time, yeah. I mean, didn't YouTube start off with that, and now it's like, now you are going to watch this 30-second commercial. This
15-second advert for Google Pixel. Thanks very much for that. Although I do get a lot of Google Pixel and Google Phone adverts, but I think that's because in terms of advertising inventory, they might not necessarily have enough ads to feed me as a high volume YouTube user. So it's just got what other Google, I normally get adverts for a lot of adverts for Chromebook, probably the same as other people out there. Lots of adverts for like I say, the Google Pixel phone, but that's because there are no other adverts to serve me. So it's just go, well, they expect 2 adverts, so we might as well just throw in an advert of one of our own products.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So, excuse me. That's a brief introduction of TikTok.
Yes.
And so in terms of like, if you're saying its demographic is 16 to 24.
The core demographic, yeah.
Does that mean that the majority of the videos, are you saying that there's 17 billion videos on cheese have been made by 16 to 24
17 billion video views that have had the hashtag cheese attributed to it. So yeah, so you might think, I mean, I would have thought, well, are my videos particularly going to connect with 16 to 24-year-olds? I would possibly say, actually, I think they would. But, the point I'm trying to make is there's that many people out there in terms of the other age demographics. There's probably going to be, that demographic is going to be represented, and perhaps more so as what tends to happen with all platforms as they mature and become more mainstream. They do tend to age up. And that's also happened with Instagram. The average age of the user has increased. It's become more of a mainstream to the platform.
Okay, so question then.
Carry on.
What factors determine which video appears in people's feeds?
So, Greg, if you was to launch Facebook on your phone, you would get posts from the pages and the people that you follow. When on TikTok, that will be the same as well. So in other words, if you follow pages, their videos will appear in your feed. But so in fact, there isn't actually, well, the feed is referred to as the FYP, the For You page. And what it will do is at random, the algorithm will go, oh, we'll serve this particular person that video at random. And as with all algorithms, it learns what you like. So again, if I start watching a lot of cheese videos, the algorithm will go, Sheldon likes his cheese videos. What in the inventory, what cheese videos have we got? Come on, bring them on, pile them on. So the algorithm is constantly tweaking, constantly finding what you like, and will just try and find you more of it. Because the idea is that if your video is sort of 7 seconds, you're going to go through videos very sort of quickly. So it's constantly using the algorithm to try and find videos that it thinks you might like. And I have noticed that algorithm learning and changing over time, because at the very first, when I started using it for the first couple of weeks, I got a lot of videos for people who are flipping stuff and lots of crypto videos and NFT videos, and I've just suddenly gone, I don't want to watch this. And now it's given me more music marketing videos, which obviously I am interested in, music production videos. So it's constantly learning and adapting, finding out what you engage with, what you like, and we can go through some of the metrics of that shortly. And it just basically learns your preferences, tries to find you content for your FYP, your For You page, and that's how videos will appear in a user's feed.
So how clever is it? So say, for example, I go and listen to an indie band on there.
Yep.
Does it give me more indie bands to listen to? Or say, for example, metal? Or does it just give me, oh, he's listened to music, here's some more music, and it's someone like Britney?
What it will probably do is it will probably identify the hashtags that we used in that video and try and find videos with similar hashtags. And it will also, I think the same with a lot of algorithms, is try and see what other TikTok users who have watched that video, what other videos have they watched and liked. Right. So I think it's using, association to assist its recommendation engine.
That makes a bit more sense. Okay, Sheldon. So as a musician, how do you start to grow an audience on TikTok?
Well, with all social media and sort of content platforms, there's an algorithm that has to be appeased. The most important factor on your videos and whether they will find an audience is, because what it does, same with Facebook, it will, if you upload a video, it will distribute it to a small number of people, a sample size, as it were, and it will base its future performance primarily, so I'm told, on their reactions. And the first factor is time watched. So if you've got a 30-second video, did somebody bail in 2 seconds, or did they bail at 25 seconds? And if it's obviously the more time watched, the higher quality the video is deemed to be, ergo the more likely it's to be seen by other people. Now, if you've got a video where the actual point of the video doesn't actually happen until the end, you might need to title it in some capacity in a clickbaity style, or wait for it, or all the action happens at the end, or keep watching for the XYZ point of this video. And then after time watch, you're talking about shares, saves, comments, and likes. So it's like other platforms such as sort of Facebook. The more engagement there is from the audience, the more likely it is to be shared and seeded out to other people. Again, other factors in terms of appeasing the algorithm. They say that you should post regularly. People say you should post at least once a day, maybe 3 times a day. I haven't got time to do that.
3?
I know. I post a video once per week, so I go completely against the grain. But this is what people say. You should ideally hack into trends. I was saying before almost about the memification of audio that's found on existing videos. So if you can take that the soundtrack from another video and recontextualize it and do your own performance based around that sound, that's very popular. There's a duet feature whereby you can
a duet with two TikTok users in different locations.
So someone will record a video, post it, and then
right.
you can take that video and add your own performance to it. Remember all that sea shantying that was going on about 18 months or so ago?
It was I hated it.
It was popular, but that's an example of the duet feature. There's also a stitch feature whereby you can take somebody's video and then use a portion of that and then add your own little bit to that video. So that could be a commentary on someone else's video. So those are the sorts of things that you can do with content on the platform. In terms of your own content, if you're uploading maybe one of your songs or taking an existing video, which is basically what I'm doing, and reformatting it for a vertical viewing experience, people say ideally just find the best bit of the song, because again you're at the mercy of someone's finger swiping up. So boil it down to the best bit, boil it down to the hook, boil it down to the chorus. Just use that. Captions are recommended to put captions on the video. Although that said, TikTok has recently introduced an auto caption feature, which is incredibly good at transcribing normal people's audio. And I think the same with all platforms, really. What you're there to do is you're there to provide value in some way. I know it's a terrible word to use, but you're there to provide entertainment. That could be a performance, it could be making people laugh, it could be telling a tale, it could be giving people an insight on something. I do find lots of videos from musicians and saying, no, this is what it's like to be, this is my recent day as a session musician, or my recent day as a band, being on tour. And again, if you're a mixer, this is how we mix this particular song. Or if you're a dance music producer, this is how I created this particular track. So giving people insights. And I think the BBC's motto is inform, educate, and entertain. And you could say that applies pretty much to all social media platforms, TikTok included. So it may well be that you as a somebody who owns a studio and who is a producer and does mixing and such, you could that could be your main source of content on TikTok, showing people how you took perhaps a poor quality snare drum that you had to record in the studio, and what techniques that you used in order to make it sound whiz bang?
Sound replacement, Bosch. No,
Well,
but yes, I have got. I've actually. It's funny that you mention that. I have 4 cameras set up downstairs.
Yep.
Going into my web presenter box, and then that's connected to piggybacking off my another. So I basically got 5 video feeds, 4 cameras, my MacBook to do a little thing later. So I might look at putting that onto TikTok. I'll have to get Gino to front it because she's more photogenic than I am.
Yes, everybody. Oh, yeah, and again, cats. The algorithm has found out that I like cat videos. Oh goodness, man! I watched one very long. It was like a 2-minute cat video of this bloke who goes.
I like the way you say very long, and it's 2 minutes.
Well, very long for the platform, and it was just a bloke going around a neighborhood of New York. And just basically saying hi to all the local neighborhood cats. And then TikTok just went, this bloke's a cat fan. And ever since then, I'm getting the cat videos.
Yeah, I better be careful. Otherwise, I'll end up with loads of border collie videos.
That could well be the case. So we often talk about branding on this particular show. And it may well be that in terms of your brand and your interests that are associated around your music and those same interests that happen, to lie within your fan base as well. It could well be not just creating content about yourself, but creating content around those interests. So, there's lots of common themes, not just necessarily on TikTok, that apply to all platforms. There's lots of narrative storytelling within the app. I find that somebody just pointing their camera at something and filming something doesn't necessarily have the same amount of impetus. It's almost like there has to be a point to this particular video. Then that could well be, just the performance of a song, if the song has a narrative sort of point. But just random videos of just you doing sort of normal things, from what I've seen, don't tend to put, there has to be a point, a punchline, a specific purpose for a video. If it's just like, here's me tuning my guitar up, or here's me acoustically doing a take for in the recording studio, that's probably not going to fly.
I'm just going to say something here, and we might need to edit this out, but
go on.
I get the impression the majority of the content on TikTok is girls basically drawing attention to their breasts, which I realize possibly isn't the best thing to say after International Women's Day yesterday. Is it more than just that?
Well, you see, the thing is, again, the point I'm trying to make is there is that. And if you like that, then you'll watch one video of that. The algorithm will go, that particular person's watched 95% of that video. I know what you like. Give him some more, boys. But it's whatever your viewing interest would be. Cats, music production video, music marketing, just stuff to make you laugh. Social media, what you generally tend to find is it's a distraction from the terrible things that might be happening outside your window.
And that's enough of those at the moment.
There are enough of those.
So okay, fair enough. So it basically it is a bit of lightheartedness and stuff. So if someone's listening to your music, so we're actually talking about music.
Yeah.
If you're saying that at the moment there's the potential that it might go to 3 minutes, people aren't going to be able to
10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. Sorry. So would you immediately put a full song on TikTok? Or would you have to edit it down to a verse and a chorus or something else?
What I've been doing, and all I've been doing is I've been doing verse and a chorus. There's a lot of value within my band's verses, perhaps as much so as the choruses. So that's why I've started there. I think for most people, the chorus would just be sufficient, and then you might, in the video description, say the full video is on YouTube.
Well, this kind of comes to my next question. So if someone is listening to your video or watching, and they're thinking this sounds good, what are the potential downsides? Because we've already mentioned that you might have to edit your song to kind of put just the punchline.
Yeah, I mean, so as I've sort of indicated, it's very much a place for fast-moving entertainment. There's a lot of novelty value in a lot of the videos. If some of the music that you create is perhaps, and I'm struggling for the right word to think here, but if it's straightforward, if there isn't that much of a whiz bow factor, if you're maybe like a solo sort of acoustic artist, I'm not necessarily saying your music and video will struggle on its merits, but it's not going to have that perhaps viral factor.
You want a bit less Alan Partridge and more.
What?
Well, Alan Partridge is quite. I mean, Alan Partridge is funny because everything kind of goes wrong, and he is so straight laced. But in terms of, so basically, what you're saying is you need something that is just pushes it out of just to make lighthearted of something that potentially could be a bit dull.
Well, all I'm saying is that the people who post maybe is the best way of saying it. The people who post the most outrageous and entertaining videos are probably going to see more of a benefit from the platform than someone who is I hate to use the air quotes, serious musician. They won't get the benefits of the algorithm pushing it out as much to other people's feeds, I don't think. So if you're if you're straight laced, honest to goodness, I won't use the term worthy, but I'm struggling. If you're a straightforward act, like I say, it may well be that you go on TikTok and you go, oh, I'm not really necessarily catching fire here, as Sheldon predicted.
But as you've already pointed out, people are going to that platform for a particular style of entertainment. You're not going to go there for a documentary style because it obviously wouldn't appeal to, as you've already said, the 16 to 24 user base who are being conditioned to short, snappy pieces of content.
Yeah. But that's not to say that you shouldn't be on that platform in some capacity and that you wouldn't see any benefit from it. It's just that you won't see as much of a benefit as you would if you were creating a different style of video.
Go on. I can say one quick question. So I know we've mentioned this in the past in the sense that the idea of just creating one piece of content and then using it across multiple platforms isn't necessarily going to work. In this respect, TikTok, you're almost going to be creating content, specific TikTok style content for TikTok, which is going to intensify your work.
I think you would. Well, yes, that is the downside. It's yet another social media platform to have to reformat, because at the moment I'm not actually creating content specific, platform specific content. I'm just.
You've already mentioned about having to change your video to portrait rather than landscape.
Yeah. So I'm having to reformat and recaption my existing video. So that's work. So there you go. One of the downsides is it's yet another platform to manage, and also as I have to, and this is the excuse I'll be using for quite a while. I have to learn the platform, so I have to watch a lot of TikTok videos just to try and get the lay of the land. I think one of the things that I have been watching some videos that musicians have done about marketing on TikTok is that they've said it's hard to build a community on TikTok because people on TikTok, they're quite cavalier, they just want to be entertained. So they might watch your video, they might comment on your video to actually. And now what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just basically trying to build that audience. There's no calls to action at the moment. I'm not telling them to go out and buy concert tickets, go out and
you're literally just saying, hello, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm going to entertain you for a little bit.
Build that audience, but whether those people will actually not necessarily sort of stick around, but whether they will become fans rather than casual viewers, that's something I'm going to have to see whether that happens over the medium term.
So one question that some people are going to be asking is, so Sheldon, you've had 1.5 million views.
Yes.
You've gone a bit viral. Show me the money. What have you got to show for that other than the accolade? Is there anything else beyond the accolade?
Well, I had a look at some other metrics on other platforms, and I noticed that when our first initial popularity burst, because we're getting about 100,000 views every 2 days now on that video. Spotify plays have increased 10%.
It's not bad.
Not bad, but I noticed as well in terms of the popularity of that particular song, it's still at number 26 of my Spotify profile band.
Top 30 favorite songs.
Yeah, so people haven't actively sought that song out in any great numbers. I noticed how YouTube videos for a period of several days went up 20%, and they sort of slid back down again. So again, at the moment, other than views for views' sake, and this is where musicians can potentially be attracted by nothing other than vanity metrics. Because like me say, I've had a video go viral on TikTok, 1.5 million views, that other than it just having 1.5 million views, in the medium term, we're going to have to see as to whether this audience that I'm accruing, whether we can actually get them to do anything other than just watch our videos, which, I mean, I'm not even too sure in terms of royalties for music clips and music content. I'm going to have to check on my my aggregator's monthly statement over the coming months, just to see if there's any sort of micro royalties from music used on the platform.
So I guess the big question that most people are going to be asking, other than is there any money for this, is how did you make something go viral? Come on, Sheldon. Tell me the information.
If I could do it with every video, then that would be good. I looked as well to see how long I'd actually had a TikTok account, and I think it was almost 16 months since I posted my first video. And like I say, it was whenever I had a vertical video that I just happened to have for another particular project. I put it on there, and it probably got about, I don't know, they all seem to have less than 1,000 views. And I just stuck this video up on there, which was a video for a song that I'd reformatted, captioned about the cost, or it's a song about the rise in the cost of living, which
I think most of us are certainly starting to.
Yes, it's very much at the forefront of the news agenda. I uploaded it, left it for a week because, again, not being a TikTok user, I had no reason to go back on the platform, and I only went back on it to upload the next week's video. And I think I noticed at the time it had 1.1 million views. And basically, I think what happened was I'd used appropriate hashtags based around this popular trending news topic.
Subject. Yeah.
Lots of people had commented on that video, and the algorithm recognized if lots of people are commenting on this, then this must be this is a noteworthy video which perhaps other people should see. The subsequent videos that I've uploaded since, they've got they seem to all have had, one's got I think nearly 400,000 views. I think the last one is about 120,000 views. But it seems to be this: if you can tap into something that is trending or post, and this is again, it's almost like this factor is common with all social media platforms to a certain degree. If you can post a video that's a comment starter, a topic of conversation that people will want to talk about, and use the appropriate hashtags so that it's fine. So if you can find something that's a trending topic that might be applicable to you, a news item that might be applicable to you, and if you can create sort of content around that or tie some of your existing music in around that, that's probably the best way to go. And like I said, what I then realized is that when I went back on, I had about 1,800 comments that I had to try and answer and reply to in order to start this connection between myself as an artist and them hopefully as a potential future fan. So, and that's basically what I'm doing now. It's building the audience, replying to those comments. The concept of the fan bank is something that we've talked about before. So replying to all those comments, putting something in the fan bank, giving them a good video, an entertaining video, a good video. And then it may well be that when we start our winter tour around about October, and when we hopefully release an album about that time, that is the point at which I will hopefully try and extract value from that audience, and then we'll see how successful as a platform TikTok is, or whether it is just a
flash in the pan.
Well, I don't think it's going anywhere, but it's how valuable it is as an ultimate revenue earner.
So, with all that in mind, if a musician is watching our YouTube video or listening to it on the podcast, and they've never downloaded TikTok, should they, and will it benefit their career?
Yes. Well, as for benefiting their career, that's something I can't necessarily say at this moment in time, because I haven't got much. I'm at the beginning of my TikTok journey. Let's put it that way. Should they check it? I think they should definitely download it. They should definitely learn how the platform operates, how they might sort of fit in. Well, here's a good example. At the moment, I get like there's a service that I use that tells me how many Twitter followers I've gained over the course of a week, and also how many Twitter followers I've lost. On an average week, Greg, I gain about 12 Twitter followers and lose about 12 Twitter followers. My growth on Twitter is moribund. Nothing happens. At TikTok on Friday night, I went to bed about 11 o'clock ish. Got up about.
Sorry, that's the middle of the day, 11. But go on.
No, I need my beauty sleep, Greg. I went to bed at 11 o'clock at night. Woke up at turned my phone on at 8 o'clock in the morning. I had, over the course of one night, I had 138 new followers.
Can you find out whether you've lost any?
I'm very much in a period of growth. I'm nearly up to 20,000 followers, which have basically all accrued over the course of about 3 weeks.
That's not bad. That's all, is it?
What tends to happen with what I was watching a video that someone posted about YouTube Shorts and whether people should actually just enter, which is their vertical video platform.
Yeah.
And what YouTube Shorts seems to do is it seems to does anybody put it out? Does anybody like this video? And the algorithm will literally it gives it a short period of time and then it tanks. What I've tend to found is that with TikTok videos is that everything's got a longer half-life. So right. if I'd have posted that video on Facebook, by the end of a couple of days, that video would be dead in the water. What TikTok seems to do, and whether this is because of people's a voracious appetite for content and for new videos and the constant swiping, maybe it needs as many videos as it can do, and it'll take videos and it will forcibly push them into people's feeds. This video that I've got, which, like I say, seems to get something in the region of about 100,000 views 3 weeks every couple of days, 3 weeks after posting it. Everything seems to have a longer life. There seems to be all this potential for growth, and I think for people just to completely dismiss it out of hand, which I must confess I did myself, I think it's the wrong thing to do. People don't necessarily want to do it, as I didn't want to do it, because it's something else I had to do.
That's on your list of activities. Yeah.
Yes. So it is going to be another. So, if you've got potentially either a little bit of time still in your
very busy schedule
calendar, or what I could potentially say is, well, why not back off from those platforms which maybe aren't performing as well as you'd like?
Because obviously all our viewers and listeners are using their analytics to see how well things are going.
Yeah. So I will confess, I've taken my foot off the gas with my other social media platforms simply because why should I spend that much time on that platform with and when I can divert it to yet another platform that can give me a great, certainly for me at this moment in time, a greater viewership. Again, whether these are going to turn out to be a quality audience, that's something I'm only going to find out within the next 6, 7, 8 to 12 months. But for me, I'm wondering now is if only I'd done this about, taken this seriously about 12, 18 months or so, how further on would I be?
Okay.
We'll never know.
I know this is kind of like, we're going to wrap this up in a second, but you mentioned about captioning it and stuff. And I don't think we've actually ever talked about captioning. I think a lot of people, myself included, have just used the auto caption. So maybe it might be worth doing a video on, or something to do with the captioning even, just because you've obviously found it to be quite beneficial because you wouldn't spend the time doing it if it wasn't. No,
but like I say, I think that's less of less importance now because you can, as with things YouTube and sort of Facebook, there is an auto captioning feature now, which the algorithm that they use is incredibly good. I mean, I'm amazed.
Even me with my West Country accent.
Even you with your West Country accent would probably that's how, unfortunately, Greg, that's how you sound.
No, don't even go there. So there you go. That is today's episode on TikTok.
I'm a believer, Greg. I'm
From
a believer.
Man who was a doubter and now a believer, and another person who
I was blind, but now I see
and goes, "Do I need this?" But you've given me some powerful tools of persuasion based on your own experience.
I think the hashtag is that you need to search for is producer talk. That's
producer
the hashtag
talk.
Talk TOK.
Oh right, okay.
All one word. So I would encourage you to get an account, Greg. Go to the Discover feature, type in producer talk, have a look at what videos the producers and studio owners are.
Okay. One quick question regarding this. You're obviously going to get your app for your phone. Now, a while ago, I have actually downloaded it for my Mac. Now, I don't know can you create videos and edit them or on a computer, or does it all have to be done on a mobile device?
You'd be doing you can navigate and post. Sorry, there's my WhatsApp firing off. I don't know whether anybody can hear that. But editing, posting, you can take like an existing. I do this. I post from my computer. The editing and what have you. That's for most people will be done inside the app. But I think you can navigate and look at videos on your.
I have just looked at it and something came up and it was somebody impersonating Batman, which was a bit loud in my ears because I wasn't anticipating it.
Well, that'll teach you to multitask whilst recording a podcast, Greg.
I was just going to have a look to see if it is the same. But there we go. So that is today's episode. Thank you again for your...
Yes, so what I would say to people is,
insight.
If any of our viewers/listeners download it on the recommendation of this podcast, in a couple of weeks' time, let us know your experiences. Have you managed to find the right hashtags to use? Have you found your own particular niche on the platform? Let us know.
And I will go and do this, and I will also come back. We can possibly have a review,
part 2,
review of certain things that we've talked about doing, and obviously experience them, and hopefully
that would be good. Yes. And I can maybe comment upon, if I've done a video that does have a call to action, just exactly what the results
how well it works,
that video would be.
So there you go. Today's 30-minute music marketing. It's been wonderful chatting and seeing you all again. Right, okay. Well, see you soon on the next fantastic episode of 30-minute music marketing.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.